Hello guys, and again, welcome to Unmasked by Toltec Wisdom, where we always unlearn, relearn, and become. Today's episode is the fourth agreement of the four agreements of Toltec culture by Don Miguel that we have been analyzing and exploring all this while. This is the final episode that will be based on the Toltec agreement. And the title of today's episode is Always Do Your Best. Is the last agreement of the Toltec culture. Like I said in the previous episode, he also added another episode, agreement with the four agreements later, which is be skeptical about the truth. But I've already explained in the previous episode that agreement with do not make assumption, to me, they are the same thing. So this will be the last episode on this agreement, on all the four agreements. Now, always do your best is like the action, like the doings of all the three agreements. All the other three agreements will always be only an idea if you don't use them on a daily basis. And in the course of you using them, internalizing them, and making it part of your life, this is where always do your best comes in. It's like the anchor for all other three agreements. And doing your best is not you doing the society's best. Doing your best has to be tailored to your specific needs, specific condition, specific situation, and you are the only one that can say, this is my best. This is how my best looks like. This is what I classify as my best. Not what any book, not what any spiritual leader, not what any motivational speaker, not what any influencer tells you. No. It is what your best, what you tell yourself best, because you yourself is the only person that can really know your story, really know your condition, really know what you are going through. For example, when I was doing my son's processing to come to Spain, to join me in Spain, I encountered a lot of difficulties. From the mom didn't want me to bring him. I started trying to bring him since he was few months, over 4 years, and I was able to bring him eventually when he was 6 years. I spent nothing. When I made the calculation of all the money I've spent to make sure the boy joined me here, aside from those ones that I cannot account for, the ones I was able to account for is nothing less than 16,000 euros. I'm not saying the amount spent on something should determine your best. No. I'm just trying to use the example of mine, because before even bringing him here at all, before even starting the process, me speaking with the mom, trying to let the mom understand the importance in this child's life, if I'm able to bring him over here, that is me doing my best. Offering the mom some incentive that, okay, if you are after her, he is taking care of me because this boy is with me. If that is what you are scared of, that I wouldn't take care of you anymore after taking the boy to Spain. Okay, what about this? I offer her incentives. I offered cash. I also even offered, when she said no to the cash, it was 5,000 euro that time. When she said no to it, I also offered to even sponsor her to the UK. So those are me doing my best. And aside that, when everything fails, I have to take the case to the court. Taking the case to the court, spending, and even later settling out of the court with the hope that, okay, now we'll be able to proceed, and not still proceeding, that I still have to still go back to the court again. Those are me doing my best. Taking the child from her and putting the child in a boarding school, pending the time I will be able to finalize the processing of me bringing him over here, is me doing my best. Having to always go to Nigeria during this boy holiday to go and stay with him, even though it wasn't comfortable for me those times, those are me doing my best. And eventually, when the whole process happens, that I still needed to even, because I did his visa processing twice before it was approved. So the second time, I had to take my wife to Nigeria to help me go to the embassy. We went to the embassy together. That process of me taking my wife to Nigeria to meet the consulate, that is me doing my best. And eventually, it pays. The visa was approved, and now he's with me in Spain. So we can be in different situations. It's not necessary that, okay, your best has to be in a particular way. It has to be based on your current state. Because your best will be different when you are sick. Your best will be different when you are hungry. Your best will be different when you are active. Your best will be different when you've just woken up with a lot of energy. Your best will be different when it is late in the night. And your best will even be different when you are facing some mental challenges or mental crisis. And your best every time will be entirely based on your level of awareness, on your level of consciousness, on the things you know. So, in the course of that, if you are able to do anything you want to do, not for reward purpose, but because you love it, definitely you will do your best in that. The reason why we find it difficult to do our best in many situations is because we usually do things for reward, not because we love it. Many of us are in jobs today. The job may be paying well, but we hate that job a lot. That from Monday, we are looking forward to Friday, to when we are not going to go to work. Every morning when we wake up preparing for the work like this, we hate it. We hate ourselves doing that job. But because we think that this is the only way to survive, because of the incentive from that job, because of the pay, we keep on putting ourselves in that situation to continue to do the job we don't like, we don't love, to buy the things we don't need. Because on Friday like this, when some people leave work that, okay, finally I'm not going to go to work tomorrow, instead of them to now rest or do other things they like, they needed to go and get drunk, use drug, do all these things to escape the reality that they have been doing what they don't like. And the importance of you doing what you love, which will later lead to you giving your best to it, is that once you give your best to something, sincerely, you are not going to judge yourself. You can never judge yourself once you've given your best to something. The result will not be an issue. Whatever that comes as the result, you will be able to accept it, because, like when I was doing my child visa, that second time, I've made up my mind, I swear, that if this visa is rejected again, I will let go. I've tried my best. Because despite the fact that even the mom took my case to Kokoro Latte, that my picture was placed like it, that have kidnapped someone, that he kidnapped his son to Spain, he did this. I was not worried. And I didn't blame her too. Many people after I got the visa said, hey, you were not supposed to allow the boy to be speaking with the mom. You were supposed to cut her off. Why? I was trying my best to get what I desire for this boy. She was also trying her best to get what she desired for this boy. So my desire is not superior to her desire. Why should I not be angry? Because later, it's not a case of who wins or who lost. No. We are still the same. We both love this boy. So the result, I was not focused on the result. I didn't care whatever the result is. But I will not forgive myself if I didn't try my best, because it will always be at the back of my mind that you could have achieved this. Just like when I wanted to enter the university, the course I love most is dramatic art. That was what I put in for when I applied to Obafemi Awolowo University. And I was not given admission. But instead of me to try other school for the same course, or even still try again in that same institution, I didn't try my best. I decided to channel myself towards an easy route, which is just go to Adeyemi College of Education. Which course? I just asked, which course is available? Which course can this result do? And they say English education, and I just pick it without no interest. Till today, as I'm speaking to you, I've never used that certificate to earn any money directly. The work I've been doing has nothing to do with English education. Because as I am speaking to you now, I don't even know it. I graduated with second class upper, but everything that has to do with my study, then I cram it. It's not like maybe I want. So that is me not doing my best for the course I love, which later made me to do the course I didn't love. So this always do your best is the only way for you not to judge yourself, not to suffer from the consequences, from the result of your actions or inaction. Like this episode, this podcast I've been doing, I always give my best to it. So either people watch it or people don't watch it. Either it's viral or it doesn't viral. I don't care. I give my best to it because I love doing this. I love it so much. So the process, the process of doing it is as rewarding as the results. This is why I'm also trying to encourage every one of us that everything we do, we should try as much as possible, even if that thing will pay us lower than our current job. If it is what we love, if you keep on, I swear, just try it. If you keep on doing what you love so much, one, you will be having a lot of energy to do it. Secondly, you will be enjoying the process. Third, you will give your best in every angle. You will be giving your best, and there is no way you can combine all this together that you are not going to succeed. And just make sure your success is your own description, not the inherited belief about success or how other people are succeeding in something. You want to also evaluate yourself with that. No. If we want all this agreement to become part of us, if we want to succeed in transforming our life with all these 4 agreements of Toltec, this last one, which is always do your best, is the most important in ensuring that you don't take anything personally, you don't make assumption, and every other agreement. This is the only thing that, because if you try your best, there is no way you can be without misusing your words sometimes. You cannot always be impeccable with your word, but you can try your best to always be impeccable with your word. And every day by day, the day you fail to be impeccable with your word, in as much you try your best, you will not judge yourself. You will not be worried. You will know that, fine, I take notes. This is where I fuck up again today. And then tomorrow we go again. If you take something personally, if you always try your best not to take things personally, any day it happens that you take something personally, you will forgive yourself. You will not see it as a big deal because you know you always try your best. And then again, you will take the record. The same thing with don't make assumption. Any day you make assumption, you will be able to see where you are going wrong. You will be able to see it clearly like 4K TV. Because you are trying your best. So, today's episode, I will not take much of our time, but I want us to look at our life, to examine our life, and see how we've been doing things without giving it our best. And try to see that, okay, why? What is the reason? Because every one of us, we have things we've given our best to. We have things we've not given our best to. So let's look for the reason. Why have I not been giving my best to this thing? Let me give us another example. When I established a pure water factory, that pure water factory failed because I didn't give it my best. The month that was supposed to be the month for us to start producing the water happens to be the month I traveled. I left Nigeria. And the type of machine we bought was fabricated. So they fabricated it in Nigeria. Lack of experience and lack of enough information made me to hire someone that is quack. So that is part of me not doing my best. Comparing that with when I started a farm, I made sure I imported the Sydney from France and Indonesia. The seed that I used to make the Sydney, I imported them from France and Indonesia. That is me doing my best. And before that, I've already bought a lot of Sydney in Nigeria. But I just tried, with my experience with plants here and in Nigeria, I could see that, okay, there are some plants that we are still using old seeds that we've not developed the new one. Then the same thing will be with palm oil. Let me search. And I made searches and I see that why the Nigeria Sydney from NIFOR can give the maximum of 14, 15 bunches of palm oil when they are when they have matured enough to give fruit. This one from Indonesia and France, they can give up to 30 bunches. Can you see the difference? Like double. And then the oil is so much more. That is me doing my best. Because of Fulani, I made sure I fence it around with wires. That is me doing my best. But if at the end of the day, if anything happens on that farm, if anything fails, I will not judge myself. I've given it my totality. So what I'm saying in essence is, let us examine what we are doing. That your job that is always taking your energy, that you have to always force yourself to do, you don't need to continue. Examine yourself. What do I like? What do I love to do? What can make me to joyfully wake up in the morning? Be in the morning, anytime, anything I do, mostly I think about my podcast. I think about this farm nowadays, just because I love it. I love doing it. When I'm in my garden, trying to do one or two things in my garden here, I love it. I love the process. So, let us also inculcate this habit, and we will see how we are going to transform our life. At the beginning, it's not going to be easy, like I always say. It's not going to be easy. because you've not been giving your best to things. You've not been doing only things you love for a very long time. Changing that will still take time for the new neurons to take strong hold. So let's be patient with ourselves. Let's love ourselves. Let's love the process of anything we are doing. And we will see that we will become a changed person. We will return to our original self. With this, I'm going to bring an end to today's episode. And from the next episode, we will now be picking one by one topics in our society, like relationship, work, child, family, self-development, all this, and using Toltec to examine them. So this is the end of all the 4 agreements as written by Don Miguel. Relating it with my personal experience has been what I've been explaining in all the previous episodes. And I started then with be impeccable with your word. Do not make assumption. Don't take anything personally. And this last one, always do your best. As we go on our daily activities every day, let us remember to always do our best. I love you guys so much, and stay blessed.